Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome to a Moment of Clarity. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Glad you guys are here. Please take a second to share this and click subscribe and click the thumbs up and all that stuff. I would like to bring in from Gaza, Malak Mattar. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Malak Mattar.
Better. Yes, Malak.
Okay, thank you so much for being here. I know I'm not surprised the internet connection's not amazing, but that's okay. I really do appreciate your time. It is so important, and I know a lot's going on right now. I just want we've been covering it as best we can, but obviously the coverage coming out of Gaza for those of us in the United States is not great. And even if you go to the independent outlets, you don't know how much access they have. So I would love to hear about your situation and also whether you have lived in Gaza your whole life and what that's been like.
All right. Thank you for having me first. Yes, I was born and raised in the Gaza Strip. In 2017, I went to Turkey to study my BA degree. And I came here for a visit after attempts to get into Gaza because Gaza is under siege. So now I'm living my fourth attack on the Gaza Strip since I was 8, and then another war when I was 12, and then another when I was 14. And now that I'm 21, I'm living my fourth war. So, yeah.
It's unbelievable and horrific. What is it like for you personally over the past few days? Do you have to? I mean, are the bombs raining down from Israel? Are they centered in a certain area, and you can stay somewhere that seems relatively safer, or is it you have no idea?
We do not have any shelters. So schools get bombed, hospitals get bombed, health ministries get bombed, and even cemeteries. So we are alive, and also people who are dead are also attacked by the Israeli airplanes. And living by the sea, I'm also attacked by the bombings from the navies, from the gunboats. So imagine that it's a siege where people cannot travel. They are trapped from the sea and from the ground and from the sky. And when we are under attack, we are also trapped the same way because the bombings are coming from the ground, from the sea, and from the sky. So when there are bombings happening around my area, because I live in the city, and the target seems to be on the residential buildings where I live, there is no place to go and other than your home and the streets, and neither is safe. So yeah, it's been almost 10 days, and it's the situation is indescribable. I would say, like I can't put it in words. Being a three war survivors and now surviving the fourth or not yet, I don't know, makes me feel that this one is much worse. Although the previous one was 50 days of attack, but this one is harder because you feel that death is happening at any second. Even at the time I'm speaking to you or I'm speaking at different interviews, I do have to make the warning that if the electricity cut or my internet cuts, it means that something happened. So this is the situation. Every time um, every day I wake up, I just feel it's kind of a miracle because the bombings get concentrated at the time of night. So it's in a different words, it's a psychological war. So
Right.
knowing that children sleep at night and people sleep at night, so it's the time where bombings really start shelling in a very intense, in a very like I feel bombings. I know the feelings of even the man who's on the airplane, like firing the bombs. I'm an expert now. I could feel from the intensity, from the numbers of bombing getting shelled, that there is revenge and anger because the numbers is massive. Sometimes they would bomb for 40 bombings all at the same time. on the same building, which is surprising because you can demolish a whole building, which happened of 15 floors, but they still bomb it with 30 and 40 bombings that are really heavy, that will make the ground shake under you, despite the fact that before, if the bombing would happen in the north, I wouldn't really be able to tell because I'm like not in the north. But now, no matter how far it is, whether it's in the north, in the east, I would still feel the house shaking. It's as an explosion. So the sounds that I hear and the effect that I see, it's more like an earthquake. It's not only an ordinary bombing.
Yeah, I can't pretend to even understand or relate. Many people have seen the video of the I think it was 12 or 15-story building where the AP and Al Jazeera were centered. Many people have seen that video of that building collapsing. And I know that they supposedly called them to tell them to get out beforehand, but that doesn't mean that it won't cost lives. And you see that building collapse, and the damage and the harm to the whole area has just got to be immense.
Yes, but I would like to clarify something about
Hmm.
this request of evacuation.
Hmm.
At the beginning, yes, they were like alarming people that they need to leave, especially at the building of Al Jazeera and AP where they are based. Uh, but hearing people getting out, they only give people just 5 or 10 minutes to evacuate. So I heard mothers say that because of the terror and the difference that your house is getting to be demolished within few minutes, some moms they leave their kids inside and keep running because it's an acting that the mind cannot really imagine. It's like someone is telling me I'm bombing where you are and just flee. So another disabled man, he got killed because he was not able to flee the house and in the time that he was meant to leave. So if you have an elderly person in the house, you cannot use the elevator. So you need to get him to run, although he would not be able to. So
Right.
in 5 to 10 minutes, how much you can do. And I will tell you something. In every Palestinian home from Gaza, we have like a bag ready. So we have a bag ready here in my parents' room where all the important belongings are, which is the birth certificates and passports and some money. So it's ready. Like it's always ready that because we are always having this threat of evacuation at any time. So it's a constant state of like horror. Like sometimes I just feel I filmed from my window the bombings at places that are just a few blocks away. And sometimes looking back at these videos, I just feel these are scenes from horror movies. It couldn't really be right because of the massive destruction and the mass explosion of colors like fire. So yeah.
What is your life in Gaza like, even when there aren't bombs raining down? I've heard a lot about it's difficult to get clean water. Some of the time, there's only 4 hours of electricity a day. What is the life like when it's not wartime?
Okay. So I came here in the 9th of March. I arrived the Gaza Strip after days getting really stuck and humiliated at the border of Rafah, the Egyptian border. So just a note that the Gaza Strip is only 365 kilometers and over 2 million people live there under siege. So we've been living under siege for 15 years, 2006. So it means that people traveling outside is a lot of work. It doesn't always work. So you might lose your scholarship, your opportunity to get your stay, or you have like a family reuniting. All these things are impossible without months of planning and months of putting your name there and registering. So it looks like a thing. So being able to get in and out is difficult, but I was able to get here as the border exceptionally opened. And I would say that Gaza was not living the best time, especially at the time of pandemic. We're speaking about limitations of everything, limitation of electricity, undrinkable water by 97%. So the water is poisonous. We're speaking about limitation of the medical health and like the medicine supplies. So I got COVID. So I tested positive. And when I took the PCR test, guess where I took the test? I took it in the street because of this crowded, and because of this limitation in these hospitals in welcoming more and more COVID-19 patients. So people were dying with tens every day because of the lack of the medicine. So before, it was like it felt suffocating, like being under occupation and being under siege is suffocating, because you feel like you are in this tiny piece of land. Like, you feel like boxed in. You feel like you are in a cage. So, speaking about the pandemic, it was miserable. We were having lockdowns almost every single day. And then the attack happened, which made the things 10 or 100 times worse, because now we're speaking about mass destruction. We're speaking about neighborhoods getting erased, and a neighborhood of the heart of the Gaza Strip getting erased, and also families getting erased. So the situation here is dire. It's 100% uh, terrible. So now with the attacks on residents, attacks on the commercial centers in the Gaza Strip, on the media, on the infrastructure. So now I only have 4 hours of electricity, and I'm not hopeful I will get more. I might not even have access to electricity anymore. So yeah, this is the situation briefly.
I mean, it's incredible and horrifying. Um, what is it that is it? What is it that you feel you can do? I mean, I guess get the word out. Does it feel like the word is getting out more this time than the last time Israel was bombing Gaza, or does it feel the same, like just deja vu?
Definitely, definitely. Like, I'm seeing a lot of changes, and for some reasons. So, first, Palestinians, not only from the Gaza Strip, but also in the West Bank, from Sheikh Jarrah, from like the occupied territories, are given the chance to speak. And we're speaking about big media that for so long and so till now, they are like right wing, or they are pro-Israel. And so now, given this voice for Palestinians to speak about things that are happening, about injustice, is something that I have not seen much in 2018, where there were limitations on the numbers of people who were given the chance to speak, like in live interviews and articles. And now what I'm seeing is people are demonstrating in every single place, in the US, in France,
Yeah.
in Italy, in Russia. So I have my friends and followers, they send me screenshots of where they are demonstrating. And these demonstrations were not something that I've seen before. It's like, a popular it's a popular movement it's becoming. So there are changes, but is the war stopping? It's not yet. Am I optimistic
Right.
about ending? I'm not optimistic, because what we're seeing, that it's like, I'm not really optimistic about a near ceasefire. And even the word ceasefire, it gives me anxiety. You know why? Because, for example, let's say that the ceasefire is happening at 7 o'clock at the night. So it's the most concentrated time where targets start happening.
Hmm.
So, it's the time where more people started getting killed, and more houses started getting demolished, and more targets happening. But the only difference is happening in the short frame of time. So, I really like, the only thing that I would hope for is an immediate ceasefire. It's an immediate call for the ending of this massacre. Like, sometimes I do say war, which is wrong, because what I'm seeing now, it's beyond war. It's a massacre against people of Palestine.
Right. War, our media loves to pretend this is a war between two seemingly equal sides, which is, of course, laughable. And so the term war evokes in people the wrong imagery. This it really is, ironically, a David versus Goliath situation.
Definitely.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it's it's amazing to see it, and it's amazing. I agree with you that I've seen more people talking about it. It seems like it is now allowable to be discussed, at least on our mainstream media here in the United States. You even have some of our Congress people, not enough of them, but some of them, demanding that Palestinians have a right to, life, liberty, and happiness, whereas that type of thing didn't used to be said. But obviously, words are not enough. I also wanted to ask you about the Great March of Return. Were you there for that?
I was there, yes. For part of it, I was there. And yeah, do you want me to explain what happened in the Great March of Return?
Yeah. Just talk about what the experience was like for you. I mean, it seemed for those of us paying attention in the United States that it really was just Israeli snipers killing innocent people when they felt like it. Women, children, elderly. It didn't seem to matter.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when we speak about the Gaza Strip, something about a population of 70% of people who are not from the Gaza Strip, who are refugees, including myself. So my grandparents, they were kicked out of their homes in 1948 from Al Jora village, which is a village near the sea. And they were promised when they lived in a very inhumane conditions in camps, getting aids from UNRWA and living really poorly after they were able to establish themselves by their apartments and being able to be having a stable jobs. So they were promised that they will return to their lands. And if they're not returning, they will be compensated for the loss they have experienced. And that's supported by the United Nations of the resolution of 194. So they never returned, and they were never, and till the last days of my grandparents, they were dreaming, and they also kept the houses. They kept the keys for their houses because they had this hope after 73 years that they would return. Never. They died, and they had this dream because they didn't feel that Gaza was their home.
Yeah.
So, and this is what the feeling that tens of thousands of people, of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip, felt. They just wanted to go to the border, the artificial border between Palestine and Israel, in an attempt to remind the Israeli occupation that we did not forget our right of return, that we want to return because it's our rights as a human beings to return to our homes, because people live here, especially speaking about the refugee camps where they are in a very dense, like, buildings, and they live with very poor conditions. So they were peacefully protesting, and they were met by Israeli snipers cutting parts of people's and murdering people. And one of the people I painted was Razan al-Najjar. She was only my age. She was 21, and she was like a nurse. She was trying to help injured people, and she was wearing her white medic. So she was on duty, which she is protected by law because she is on duty. So she got killed by the heart. She got shot by the heart. So, and another journalist, Yasser Murtaja, he was also wearing his vest, the press vest, and he also got shot and killed. So I guess I can't really get the number of the people killed, but there were over 100 people who got killed by the Israeli sniper. So this is the Great March of Return briefly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking this time. I know you're also an artist, and is there a way that people who are watching can keep up with your posts?
Yes, and follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You just write Malak Mattar artist in Instagram and in Facebook Malak Mattar. And people can have access to my art, like buying prints from them through my Etsy, like Malak Art Store. So this is the way people can keep up with my posts and paintings.
You said it's Malak Mattar artist, right?
Yes, and Instagram.
Okay. Thank you again so much. I obviously hope things get better. I hope the bombs stop very, very soon. So stay safe.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Thanks. Oh, well, that is gut wrenching and infuriating, and to hear her situation, and it's so fucking insane. It's so fucking insane that a country that we claim to support, that we sell billions of dollars of weapons to, that we act like is some sort of moral entity along with the United States, which, you know, we're doing our own bombing in other countries, to watch them just rain bombs down on innocent people, and for most of our government to just either look the other way or actively say how that's great, that's fine. Yesterday, I read you tweets from Marco Rubio about, oh yeah, continue the bombing until we get rid of the terrorists. I mean, it's so fucking horrific. These people are, and this is what I was talking about this past week on Redacted Tonight. Like, there is a moral line. There is a line, and once you cross it, once you support shit like this, once you support bombing and killing of innocent people, once you support this, you know, fucking ethnic cleansing and all this horror show of just a dumpster fire, you then don't tell me, oh, but Biden said he likes a $15 minimum wage, so he's my man. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Even if he did, which of course he hasn't actually proven that he's going to get a $15 minimum wage. But even if he did, it's like, once you cross that moral line, why should I? Oh yeah, it's fine, you're killing a bunch of people, but as long as over here you're helping somebody get health care, oh, okay, then yeah, go murder all those other people. That's fine. It's totally cool. It blows my mind that people think that's all right, that people try to pretend they are moral or ethical human beings, and that's okay. It's fucking disgusting. And so anyway, I'm glad we got to hear from Malak from the ground about her life. I didn't want to keep her too long, but you know, we got to hear her day to day, what it's like, you know, the fact that it feels like earthquakes. I mean, you can't understate the amount of PTSD for even the people that aren't injured, that don't lose family members in it. Just the amount of harm and trauma that goes on for people just hearing the bombs landing near them has got to be unbelievable. I've mentioned this before. For those of you who want more information on Gaza, 2 excellent documentaries, both by friends of mine, have been released for free recently. They've been out for over a year now, but both have now announced that they are free. I believe both are on YouTube. One's called Killing Gaza by Max Blumenthal and Dan Cohen. The other is called Gaza Fights for Freedom by Abby Martin and Mike Preisner. Both of those are now free on YouTube, so you have no excuse for not watching them. They're both excellent documentaries. I guarantee, as much as you think you may know something about Gaza, you will learn something in both of those. You will hopefully learn a lot, and they serve as great, great resources to send to friends who are on the fence. And you get into a debate where they're like, well, Israel's got to defend itself, right? Like a shark needs to defend itself against a minnow. It's got to defend itself. If you have friends like that, those are great movies to send them to try and educate them if they're actually willing to have an open mind. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Please take a second to share this. If you donated, all the donations go to people who are struggling, those in need. We try and help you out. A little solidarity fund. We are, I believe, the only independent media live stream that actually tries to fund our viewers who are struggling. I think that's fairly original to us. So please, thanks for helping out. You can, even if you're not watching this live, you can always donate on Venmo at Lee Camp. And we have a live stream where we get more into explaining the donations and everything. That's on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. this Sunday, I believe we're doing, 8 p.m. Eastern. Put it on your calendar. Put it right now on your calendar. Put a little scratch and sniff sticker next to it so you remember. And then you can scratch it and smell. If you have one that smells like me, which that's not going to be pleasant, but it'll remind you. It won't be enjoyable, but you'll remember. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Sunday night with Eleanor Goldfield. But I also have a new Redacted Tonight coming out tomorrow night. I have a new Government Secrets with Graham Elwood. You should and here's the thing: if you like what I do, you should check out Government Secrets, and you can listen to back episodes because it's pretty evergreen. You know, we're covering the ongoing government secrets that go back generations in the United States. So very evergreen, always good episodes there. That's on the podcast platforms. You can grab that, listen for free, and yeah. Keep fighting, I think. Yeah. Why don't you do that? Keep fighting.